Welcome to the first Coach Simmons Coaches Show. Coach, good to see you.
That sounds awesome. I'm so glad you come up with that.
Yeah, I like that a little better than what we come up with a couple of years ago with the others. So, and I wanted to do that with our previous coach, but he liked the other a little better. So we went with it. So, but we appreciate you. It's year two.
Year two.
Yeah. How are things going? We haven't had a chance to recap the summer. Talk about summer workouts first. How did those go?
I think summer went about as good as it could have. I mean, we had really, really good numbers, really, really good participation. We didn't have much, missing. The kids, they took the time that they were, I don't want to say allotted, but they took the time available that they had off for, their vacations and this and that. They took advantage of that, and it didn't cut into, our preparation, summer preparation stuff.
So let's talk about some of your 7-on-7s. I know you won at least one 7-on-7. So how did those go this summer?
Well, the first one we did, we went to Cordova, and it was just 7-on-7. It was just us, them. 7-on-7 wasn't an OTA, and the linemen weren't there or anything like that. And kids did really well. We scored every time we had the ball, and then we went to Lynn, to the same one that we went to last year. Last year we didn't really have a clue what we were doing. And we still did well, but our goal was to go up there to that Lynn 7-on-7 this year and to win it. Yeah. And
got to face a region opponent.
Yep. Got to face Tanner and Lynn and several other schools, and our goal was to go up there and win that one, and we did. So I was really proud of the boys for kind of setting themselves a goal and then achieving that goal. And then we had OTA at Fayette. That was lineman and skill and everybody. We did really well. Played against Fayette, Oatman,
some bigger schools,
really bigger schools. And then we had that big OTA here where we had, Jasper, Hamilton, Curry, Sulligent. We had like 6 teams here for that. And the boys did really well with that. The only bad, 7-on-7, and the OTAs really, there's not any pads or anything. There's nobody really chasing you, trying to hit you. So, it was good that we got, that stuff on film to get ready for our jamboree and our first opponent.
Well, let's talk about jamboree. Free state kickoff. I felt a huge success. Malcolm Blake Stadium was packed. Lots of vendors. I know I talked to at least one vendor that was thrilled how their booth went and had a big night for his business. And so, talk a little bit about Free State Kickoff, how you felt it went, and how it helped your team improve.
Well, Coach Cole and I kind of had this vision, back last year that we wanted to do a jamboree, but I'm of the thinking if we're going to do something, let's do it big.
Right.
So we started out, we had 6 teams, and then I got so many of those because I knew 1 or 2 weren't going to come. They weren't going to make. Well, of course, 1 or 2 dropped out. Well, after that, 1 or 2 more got in. So we ended up with the same amount that we had in the beginning. And, I don't think it could have went any smoother than it did. That was a great testament to Coach Cole and Trista and the quarterback club and everyone kind of pulling together to make sure it ran smoothly. And we've already got several teams committed to coming next year.
Oh, that's good.
So we're trying to make it an annual thing.
And it's not just exposure for football. I mean, you had all the Pee Wee programs there. You had every team or activity that's involved here at Winston County involved with that. So it gave people some exposure that otherwise, outside of maybe mentioning on social media, they may not have gotten that exposure. So it was good. So I thought it was a great night and got to see some teams we don't get to see. Caleb brought Hubbardville over. And you got to see some teams that we're going to see later in the year, for example. So it was good. Well, let's talk about the win against Addison. So I looked it up. We got a 4-game winning streak now against the Bulldogs. We've not done that since 1952. 52 to 56, there was a 4-game.
That was before my time.
Yeah, my
and your time. Really, our times put together.
That's right.
You're a lot older than I am.
Yeah, that's true. You're getting old. Do it together. But point being is, we've had some success against them. Had success Friday night. So, what were some of the keys to having a big victory over Addison Bulldogs?
Well, I think that I told the boys coming in Monday, the best compliment that a coach can get is someone saying, man, your team plays really hard. You know, it's not that y'all tackle well or y'all got kids that can run or, you know, anything like that. The best compliment that a coach can get is your boys play really, really hard. And I heard that several times.
They did.
And to me, that was the biggest takeaway is, you know, it's first game of the year, not counting the jamboree, but it's first game of the year, you're going to have mistakes. But if you make those mistakes 100 miles an hour, then we can fix it.
Sure.
You know, it's the mistakes that you don't really know what to do. That's when we're in trouble. But the kids just played, you know, extremely hard. They played fast. They played with relentless effort.
They did.
And, you know, I think that showed in the second half. It was just, you know, we were just blowing them off the ball.
Right.
So the kid, it was all testament to the boys and how hard they played.
Sure. And you talk about some players. Several out there played. It was the first time they've ever seen live action in a. I mean, I know Jamboree was good live action, but in a regular season game, you got some first-year players out there that played really well. Some first-time starters, and so I felt like it was good for all of them. It doesn't help; it's a rivalry too. I mean, obviously that brings some emotion, some energy as well. So offensively, played well. Chris had a big night. I know it's a team game, but Chris made 2 spectacular catches.
He did,
and one for a touchdown. And just I thought everybody played well. Well, Bradley Cummins, Coach Cummins, has got us some highlights of this win over the Addison Bulldogs. You can see those now. We appreciate making those available to us each week. Coach, before we talk about the Meek Tigers, let's go back to something we mentioned in the first segment. You've got some players that have never played football. Some have played, some Pee Wee football, but their first varsity action, Parker Shannon, Aiden Fox, a couple of them, starting, played well. Talk about some of those kids, their first action on a Friday night under the lights.
Well, we were very fortunate that those two boys decided to come out and play because from last year we returned our skill guys outside of Eli, but
sure.
We graduated 4 linemen.
Right.
We had Brock and we had Ethan Miller that were coming back, but there for a while, if there was a defensive lineman there, they wouldn't know better for to block.
Sure.
But Aiden and Parker, they did. I thought they did well for that being their first, varsity action of football. Another one, Rumpke, Colton Rumpke.
Yeah.
He ain't got much in the rear end, but what he's got, he's going to bring it.
Yeah, sure.
And that was his first real, meaningful action in a varsity contest.
Right.
He played really, really well. All 3 of those guys, they played above the level that I was kind of expecting them to be at for the first game.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have something in your mind about where you're at, and they really exceeded that level. They played really well.
That's good.
But one thing about it is, Chris, Landon, they're going to get the spotlights. They're going to get the write-ups, and rightfully so. I mean, Landon threw 4 touchdown passes. When's the last time a Winston County quarterback threw 4 touchdown passes?
Sure.
Chris had 3-4 touchdowns. I don't know what it was, 90-something rushing, 90-something receiving. But if you're not really honed in, you don't see Rakim, blocking on the outside, 15 yards down the field to spring Chris on the on the fast screen smoke, and you don't see Will running the midline, just running over people to set stuff up. You don't see that kind of stuff.
You saw it on a touchdown.
You saw it on that, but
you
don't see it, unless you're actually looking for it. That's the kind of stuff as coaches you look at Rakim right here, look at Will, look at Rumpke right here.
Sure.
That's the kind of stuff you don't see, and I was really proud of how fast and unselfish that they played on Friday.
I don't remember many negative plays, losing yards. Very, very few, if any. I mean, you guys have broke down film and those types of things. And that's a testament to these kids who are playing hard. So, and we appreciate these young men, wearing that purple and gold. We tell them every Friday morning, they have little kids looking up to them. You got some good kids and some good role models for young players.
I think so.
I think so too. Let's talk a minute about the Meek Tigers. It's been a couple of years since we played them in the regular season. What do you see on film? They played Lynn last week, got beat 33-20. They're going to want to bounce back for a big win at home. What do you see on film of the Meek Tigers?
Lynn jumped out on them early in the first quarter. It was like 21-0 before the first heat timeout. So they jumped on them pretty quick. But to Meek's testament, to their credit, they really dug down and they fought. They fought to get that game back to where it was, manageable at the end. But they got a quarterback that's really athletic. He runs around in the pocket. He's going to find people downfield. They have a really, really good front 7 on the defense. They're big. They're strong. They go sideline to sideline really well. So it's going to be offensive line is going to get called to the table this week.
Well, good. Looking forward to watching you guys play on Friday night. And Coach, some things are bigger than football. That community's hurting right now. They lost a student that graduated last year. A young lady passed away on Wednesday. So our prayers have been given up on behalf of the Meek School and that community, and want you to know that we're praying on your behalf for strength and comfort and praying for that family. Well, Coach, we look forward to watching you on Friday night. Good luck at Meek kickoff at 7 p.m. Come out and support the Jackets.
Yes, sir. Go Jackets.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Yappin with Yeager. Today we have Dylan Chancey with us. How do you feel about the season so far?
I think it's going to be a good year. Got a good team, good, strong coaching group. Yeah, started off good against Addison. Hopefully, keep it up.
And what do you think about Coach Simmons and what he's done with the program and to the community?
I think he's a good guy, good fit for the program. has done a lot of stuff like events for the team and the community. Yeah. Good guy.
For the final question, how many calories do you think Brad Cummins takes in a day?
Well, I know he eats Mexican at least twice a day. Jack's in the morning, and then probably Mexican for dinner again.
Yeah, probably.
So, what, 5,000, 12,000?
And this concludes this segment of Yappin' with Yeager. Y'all tune in next week.
Our first player interview this week is Rakim Moore. Rakim, it's not your first time. You've been on here lots of times, so we appreciate you coming on with us again. First, let's ask, how's your senior year going? Not just football, but overall school, everything that goes on with that.
Going pretty good, I guess. I got like 3 classes.
Three classes?
Yeah, sit here most of the day.
Sitting here most of the day. So when your class is over? When you get done?
At lunch, like 12.
So you're done at lunch?
Yeah.
So what do you do the rest of the day? Whatever you want?
Yeah.
Okay, we could help out. Officially, you help out with the school. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't want to get you in trouble or whatever. But anyway, well, we're glad you're having a good start to your senior year. Had some success. We talked about this with Coach Simmons. Success, 7-on-7s, success in the Jamboree, Free State Kickoff. Let's talk about the win over Addison. So I guess as a football player on varsity, you've never lost to Addison. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? So how do you feel game winning? I always say the score shows results, right? But just as a player and a leader on the team, how do you feel?
Felt good, honestly. Just knowing like they never beat us. You know?
Yeah.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah, there are not many people in Winston County High School that can say that. One thing I noticed Friday night, how well you played defensively. I called your name out a lot on defense. You had some really great blocks, especially that screen to Chris. And you're playing well. Those things are leadership roles. I appreciate you doing that. Had a good run, right? A couple of good runs. So how do you feel you played Friday?
I mean, it's solid, I guess.
So as coaches, have they done film work with you?
Huh?
Have they do film work with the players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How'd that go for you?
pretty good, I guess.
Pretty good, you guys.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Meek. You guys have watched film on Meek. What do you guys see against the Tigers that's going to be a challenge?
They throw the ball a lot. We got a pretty good line.
So there'll be an opportunity for you and your brother.
Yeah.
So is Matt's going to have a lot of interceptions, you think?
He's going to try.
You going to try? All right. Well, let's go one non-football question. So pregame meal, when you walk in the lunchroom and you see it, what's the one that fires you up the most?
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get Chick-fil-A a lot, though.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's good to have you on the program. Good luck Friday night. Good start to your senior season. Maybe before the season's over, we'll have you on again, okay? All right. Well, fall not only brings football, but it also brings volleyball in Winston County.
Yep.
And here at our school, we have a great volleyball tradition led by Coach Horn, Tiffany Horn. Appreciate the work that she does and her assistant coaches. We have one of our star players with us, Marli Stewart. First, let's say congratulations on being nominated for State Player of the Week.
Thank you.
So, were you expecting that?
Not at all.
Not at all. So, you must have played well. So,
Must have.
Well, that's great. You all have started the season really well, 5-1.
Yes.
Your only loss is to a 7A school.
Yes.
So you had a tournament recently at Curry. Tell us a little bit about that, how you did.
Normally every year we do pretty not so good. But we showed up and we were like, we're gonna win, and we played to the best of our ability and beat Donahoe. That was probably our biggest game that tournament.
Yeah.
Got with Helena, and we beat them first set, lost to them second, and then lost to them in 3 sets. So,
Okay.
a little devastating, but
but you did well, got third place
Yep.
at the Curry tournament. Curry has a good volleyball program as well.
yes.
So let me ask you this. Let's go back to this Player of the Week. All right. So where do they go vote for you? Right, voting is still open, right? So they can go vote for you.
I think it's just al.com.
AL.com.
Yes.
Okay. So and just kind of you can search that site. So
Yeah.
Volleyball Player of the Week.
Yes.
So this week we need you to go on AL.com before it closes and vote for Marli for State Player of the Week. We hope you win that. I didn't realize voting was still going. When's it end?
Voting ends tonight at 5.
So
and
we'll post
find out
this,
the winner tomorrow.
and we'll post this on our Quarterback Club page, and we'll try to get you some votes. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the schedule coming up. When's your next home game? Tonight here at Winston.
Tonight against Meek.
Against Meek. Oh, county rivalry. Yeah. Yep. All right. I know that's big. Well, congratulations on everything you've accomplished. So, season's just beginning, so sky's the limit for you all. So, and good luck the rest of the season, and maybe towards the end of the year we'll have you back on. Okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Marli, for coming on the program.
Thank you.
I got two of our senior volleyball players. I guess the only seniors we have is right. You're the two seniors on the team.
Yes.
So we interviewed Marli earlier, and we want to get the campaign going to get her to be state player of the week. That'd be awesome. So what's it like being seniors first? You know, all these years you've had other players to look up to. So what's it like being seniors?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like, it's good to be a leader this year.
Yeah.
It's different because all these years I've looked up to them and like always thought, do I actually have to listen to them? And then when I'm like telling somebody something and they're like listening to me, I'm like, wait, they're listening to me now.
You're almost like home court coaches. You take that role.
And then I think it's so crazy because we're also close like outside of volleyball, so it just like
we all have friendships outside of the court too.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, and that leads to success later.
yes.
Let's talk about the Curry tournament. I know you had a big win over Donahoe, right? That's big. So how did you do, and what can you learn from it to help the season go on in the coming weeks?
In all of my years, the Curry tournament this year was the best we've ever played in that tournament.
That's
I think
good.
so. We did really well. It showed like how big of a season we're going to have.
Sure.
You can already tell.
And Winston County has a lot of volleyball tradition. You guys are carrying on that torch for the program.
And like during the whole Curry tournament, our energy was so up that like the entire tournament, that just helped us play so well.
So far, the only school that's beaten you guys is 7A school, Helena.
Yes.
Right. And we were close with it. We competed really well with them.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm glad to see you all having success. You got a big game tonight against the Meek Tigers. Good luck tonight, and hope it does well. And we'll have you on maybe a couple more times throughout the season, okay?
Okay.
Good luck tonight. Good luck this season.
Thank you.